Fun fact about Israel, or maybe I should say interesting fact about Israel, is the role that reservist soldiers play in Israel's security. Shalom, my friends. This is Akiva Gersh with Israel in 5, where we give you everything Israel in 5 minutes. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any questions or want to keep the conversation going, please do so below in the comments. Israel is a tiny country and has many enemies on all of its borders. And that is why, since the creation of the state, it has been an obligation that 18-year-olds go to the army here and serve in the army for a few years. And when they're done, they go out and they live their lives. They do all kinds of things, but they're also part of reserve duty. And every year, they have to come back to the army for a week here and there, a couple of times throughout the year, to train and keep themselves from getting rusty and do all kinds of tasks like guard duty, and just make sure that they're fit and up to date, so to speak, and in the know. And if God forbid there's a war, right, they will be ready to fight, because Israel's security and success in military operations and in wars is absolutely dependent on the reservist soldiers doing what they know how to do and doing what they do. Right? We have the standing army. Thank God, they're strong, they're trained, they're in their active duty. But it's only with the addition of the reservist fighters and the numbers they bring and the experience they bring and the abilities they bring, that all together Israel can really defend itself against any and all of its enemies on all of its borders. Now, it's interesting because the reserve soldiers, they're coming from their regular lives. After the army, many of them get married and they get jobs and they live all over the country, and they haven't seen their fellow unit members in many months. All those months in between the times that they report for reserve duty. But then when there is a war, right, and they all come together and they fight together, they become like brothers in arms once again, all over again, like it was back in active duty. They're with each other 24/7. They've all left their homes. They've all left their jobs. They've all have left their lives. And those who are married, their spouses, and those with kids, their kids, and they're experiencing this thing together. It's a very, very powerful experience to go through together. So they're defending their country, and at the same time, right, they know that they've completely detached themselves from everything that they created since they were in active duty in the army. And that's what it means to be a soldier here in this country, in this land, is to give 2, 3, sometimes even more years of those best years of your life, right, from 18 on, and to do it because that's what the country needs. Yet after that, for many years and even a couple of decades, to keep giving back. Right, a week here, a week there, not so hard. But then when there's war, they're in for who knows how long, weeks on end, months on end, right? And they know it, and they do it because they know without it we wouldn't have a country. If the country couldn't defend itself, if they didn't do that. And it's a very, very powerful thing. And one last thing I just want to add, it's just so interesting to me that they bring all of their life experience. When they're 18, 19, 20, they're being trained and they're being really, developed by the army into incredible leaders, thinkers, soldiers, warriors, right, fighters. But when they come back as reservists and fight, they bring all that other worldly experience that they received, that they attained, that they achieved from being fathers and from being husbands, from being parts of companies and working wherever they work and building businesses and doing all kinds of things. Right? They take all of that, and it's an incredible and diverse kind of group of soldiers that are now working together, not just fresh out of high school, 18 years old, let's go, but with all this other kind of life experience and work experience and family experience, now well into their 20s, 30s, 40s, sometimes even 50s. And I think that's something that really makes the army of Israel, the IDF, so unique and so strong, because they're really bringing in all the years of wisdom that they have collected along the way since they left their active duty in the army, right? And focusing it and using it to defend their country, Israel, the best that they possibly can.